Greetings over the diaspora to those that don't speak the languages that we speak. What's up, spiritual G's? Thank you so much for clicking on this video. And if you're on the Chinese app, thank you so much for watching and not scrolling past. But I just want us to cover something very, very quickly. But I hope the retrograde is kind to you guys and not doing the work. I hope my art season is already great to you guys. Got your my art colors, got your cosmic packs. Thank you so much to those who bought the cosmic packs and the ebooks as well, and those who are still supporting on the link here, the event that we need to have. But a quick one, I got 10 minutes to do this. I know most of us in the space, whole gang, I know gang, Makosi gang, chakra hands, others we are just knowledge seekers, knowledge collectors, others are still religious, others are, more impressed, yeah. But yeah, we are here in love and light, right? But yeah, I'll just call us the conscious gang, just for the collective, just for collectiveness sake. But I know most of us in the conscious gang, kapa woke gang, maybe we have consciously disconnected ourselves to the daba, we've consciously disconnected us to news articles, watching the news and all of that, right? But unfortunately, it's still like a source of knowing what happens or knowing what is happening and what is happening behind the scenes. And I'm sure you've heard a lot of people stating, Hore, if you see the media, right, we know Hore, the media is also controlled by those other kids. If you see the media focusing on something very specific, no hore, there's something behind the scenes that is greater, that is happening. So land as usual, right? And to discuss what is our plan, what is our plan as a people, because all these things, like Ngara history keeps on repeating itself. So we've seen those who are not on this Chinese app here, this is this is for YouTube. I'm just recording this so that I'll be able to post there. Let's say about get off for editor, or actually I get off, I don't have time to edit today, but I think this is something very important for us to be alert about. Those by pasla, those who pray, those by kulega in tabe nemanzini nanani, the spiritual warriors, the spiritual G's that actually it's not just for them who no well-being or kilo phahla or kilo etsang, but they see the collective picture. Baphahlela isizwe, baphahlela umndeni or umsamo wabo, the great msamo, but the great msamo of the black people, right? Because resali displaced habuhloko haholo hambe fela, right? So these issues keep on reoccurring. So for those who are still involved in media and maybe have not taken downtime from social media and all of that, and yes, I'm not back, but we haven't had an episode of the concentration in a very long time, and I forgot what the intro says, but it's there under the playlist. It's there also description. But we talk about these things that are affecting us, and also that's leading to the social ills. And I just want to read something very quickly. I got 6% of battery life left, but there's something very interesting happening in KZN. Besides Bomkwanazi, we give thanks, but when you see stuff like that being shown in the media, you have to think always, okay, behind the scenes, so we know ho busy but unfortunately the dwellums trade is gonna continue. The dwellums trade goes up a level, let's come surprised when politicians, well, we've seen how the politicians are being involved in these shady dealings, but it's been happening. It's been happening. If you're like me and you're born in the late 80s, I don't know if you're conscious. Maybe I'm conscious because this is the energy sphere that I'm involving myself in. But remember, we had when I was in primary school, there were kids bako John O. It's the closest because Natal Bas A1, John O, Macaulay House, Rona being Boy Marancha, Greenside. Was it Greenside? I don't know. I can't remember if I was going to that school or was it the school before that one. But there were kids back on all right, and that was where I was first exposed to Tabaya Barinke mandrakes, right? And in close proximity, unfortunately, I had this uncle. He's late now. This uncle, they lived like down the road from my grandparents, and he was like Thugnificent, or well, those very first thugs, Bako, Soweto, and all of that. So the people badly sitting, part of the people, yeah, it excited the people, part of the people badly sitting the dwellings in South Africa. So yeah, so I guess I've been exposed in terms of that. But what I want to highlight is like never fail into it. Like how kaya ko OR right now. I'm not too sure about the statistics that go. Let me just pause this quickly. Sorry about that. It was a charger. But I think I'm gonna cut and join this for YouTube because I don't think 10 minutes it was sufficient today. But yeah, let's make it 20 minutes just to re through the episode very quickly. If I'm speaking too fast, please go on your settings and then say playback speed, and then go either lower. If I'm speaking very slowly, you can also speed it up. This is how I also play other people's videos where you press a 1.5 so that you know. But anyway, yes, so Nikiba about the airports and all of that. So I'm not too sure dynamics are Lanzeria, but in close proximity again, I do have a relative as well who is there at the City of the Sun. Because of like these syndicates, there are big syndicates, and we know OR is for international flights. So never if I trade in, if you're seeing Hore, if you look at documentaries, Sabo, the can I say that word? But cocaine cowboys, right? If you see the movies that World War II, or based on no, this person is from the war. If you see things of Colombia, if you see things of the Mexicans and whatnot, or I don't know what's the collective group, but those cartels, I get just by virtue of that, people bamolao are involved, people in higher standings, the chief and commander of politicians, allegedly, apparently, yeah, but it goes that deep, right? It goes upper level, it goes to, chief of Mang Mang and all of that. So we get that. So I'm just saying, Hore, like, never fail, let's come now, in next year, like, or somebody utimile, like all these traits, On another angle, we had the story Sabo, Kemang, that little baby, right, which was also well, now it's coming to light, right? And I did speak okay, season Yamaati, this is where things are rebalancing. So there's an article that also came out, and the relative to Principal Ola, right, who was doing things to Kwekwe allegedly, apparently, and then the link, Yabeya, all the way to chief and commander of the politicians, right, chief and commander of the country. His brother is in the chain, these new private schools, it's unfortunate, these new private schools, not Spark, that other one, right, but Lorna, but that other one. So these elite clubs, we had like the likes of that lady Kimang, hockey club lady, who was exposing these things, but then it's either about team, or it's either they're gonna bring out the big right, to shut you up, basically. But all these things that are happening are still happening. Like, there's no exposure that's gonna happen until we see a time more no politicians get arrested, until we see hore top of the head gets arrested. We're seeing the chaos that's happening in that country that likes fighting with us, and it's crazy because it's another divide and conquer against these, but president, that country as well, where he's gotten away with crazy things, right now. It's been called, he's making calls already, defile that grant P. Olalekgoa, Dikwalwe, right? And and that lady who was related to that P. Olalekgoa, the lady in that whole syndicate, she now has like a very cushy life and all of that. Bamu movie left from maximum security into, right? So this is just a summing up of what is happening, the madness that is happening, that is shown by the media, but what is not shown by the media is what I want us to focus on today. And remember when we spoke about Ma'at, we said Ma'at, justice happens. There's a creator on this platform here, Gibonishem. I used to see his stuff back in the day. Hastata. He's also from the same, well, not from the same, not in my tenure, from the same spiritual home, right? But you see also the content that he does. He does like similar content, but Yeah, okay, I won't speak much on him, but I think let us also be very careful to not let the ego supersede us, ne? And I like what I say here, Hore. This is a knowledge sharing platform. I don't think I know above anybody. I don't think, I don't think I'm better. I just, have access to certain things. Let's go to part two, but ke cut and join. And in part two, I'm gonna try and make this very fast as well. But there's something I wanted to speak on. But yeah, we spoke of the whole Cat Matlala. We spoke of and Tatem Kwanasi there in KZN and how he's doing all these big exposés. And we give thanks to all of that. We give thanks and we hope justice will happen, But now let's talk about behind the scenes. So it's not alleged, it's something that's happening. And when you go deep down this rabbit hole, you see Hori, like from last year 2024, well, Gregorian last year 2024, this issue has been going on, right? And yeah, I just want us to rekanye maat again. Yeah, never kapara maat and then sabika maat. So riboka maat again. Remember we spoke Hori, it's a time where justice happens, right? And then we spoke and we married it from the season of Set, how it built up as well. This is the goddess of truth, justice, order, balance, restoration, and all of that. We spoke about the 7 ideals of my aunt. I will probably make a separate episode on delving more into that. Yeah, I am a little bit weller. I think I did need the downtime that I took. And yes, I'll be back on regular communication. But for those by Stone Square podcast, the WhatsApp number is still the same. But for those of the other business that I do, or the business that I do, this is work. This is spirit work. I'm gonna be back on the regular number as well. So please do reach me on that one as well. But we spoke at there's the whole exposés, there's the restoration, there's the balance and everything that is happening. So we shouldn't be surprised with the things that are happening in Dintlu. Korong ya molao, right? Because ke nako ya mme molao. Oh yes, and then it creator all in it. So I think as conscious people, or let me just maybe from my platform, it's a controller battle. But let us be very cognizant and be kind when we're engaging, right? And we're teaching each other. Ne? Kulu Ona something didn't sit well with me when he called this lady's content BS about BS, when this lady was sharing her calendar. She does similar content that we do. I don't know the creator's name, but I liked that she did certain things. And instead of calling BS, I think if maybe Nkulu and I were buddies, I guess, and corrective action, that's not how you address it. This is why season ena eleso, right? Especially if you're gonna be using the solar calendar, especially when you're using the solar calendar. And but anyway, those who can read coded things, but the this video is not about Mkulu Ona, but I just for us here, spiritual G's, it was a chakrams, energy readers, energy benders. Please, when you're pasharing, when you're praying, mokulega, when you are communing with spirit and cosmos and everything, please always ask to remain humble, and Lena call out to self, because I did find myself having a back and forth with some lady, not let's say black god, and she came here with lament, insults and all of that, and then I retaliated in a similar manner. I'm like, that's nasty, I don't want to do that. And I'm hoping she's gone. And I want our space, like I said, Hore, this is something we're doing, important work, as much as our growth rate ikaba miniature, but I'm seeing, and I'm glad every time you guys share, Hore, this is, aligning with the calendar has done this for me, or doing this, Gogo, or ever since I came for your massage, or I got my palm read, or anything that we do, and we get feedback, and we get great feedback. So for me, it's like, as much as sometimes it is fine, but it's not entertainment purposes, it is a spirit work that I'm doing here, so kaleboga. And I don't want us to taint it, getting towards us snacks, I don't want us having the back and forth. And in the description box we listed there, like we are live and light, and we haven't done the event o'clock in a very long time, because we don't want this being playground nezinto snacks, right? Silawulwe imimoya emhlabeni, and I don't want to be part of that gang elawulwa imimoya as snacks. So let's remember, let's just be respectful and kind on our platform here, and always more kulega, more phahla, just always ask to remain humble, even though like your mental faculties expand and you get access to more knowledge. It's like what we do to Christian people, myself included, what we do to Christian people on some come with woke stuff and all of that. And as much as like I'm very passionate hore, like it is such a dangerous religion, and it's a dangerous religion. Well, religion is dangerous in totality actually, because no religion is actually quite safe. But maybe the moral indoctrination, which is fear-based and all of that. But so what we do as woke people, how like we forget where we also come from, those kind of backgrounds, but we let everybody evolve in their own time. So to myself, as I'm calling myself out. But yes, I think we're gonna need another cut and join to this one. But ke batla re qoqe about the land, right? This is the concentration camp. It is okay. I'll put it on a Wednesday so that it's aligned with our regular schedule. But ke kopa re qoqeng ka kgang ya ko KZN. So in KZN right now, there is, well, not right now, it's been happening because unfortunately, as a people, we have so disconnected from ourselves. Like our asanes is cut into so many pieces that in everything that we do, nkare arena structure, arena order, arena ponelo pele, arena plan hore what is our plan as a people. Instead we still harming each other, we still modeling each other as a people, and not recognizing hore bona Hebrew Israelites, BRS, Kemet gang, woke gang, Togoza Koko gang, that actually we should be, Black unity is the only truth that still remains. But unfortunately, we still haven't gotten it. Like, I don't know how many of these groupings and these subgroups we're gonna need to understand how unity is our only way, right? And why I'm mentioning this, so in KZN right now, Komzumbe, if you are a TV girl or a TV boy or a TV non-gender, that family the polygamous, right? And that they're always from there. But if you're like me and you love the province of KZN, it's something that you're familiar with, right? KZN, I love KZN. Or FYI, inviting, please invite me. I really love that province. It's so friendly. And I found somebody else who doesn't like Cape Town. Like, I don't like Cape Town. But this little article here. Ne? But what is happening right now, there is mineral that is happening. So what I'm saying, behind the scenes, when media is focusing on things, media doesn't report for our highest good. Like in Tatem Laba says, things of the system work how they are designed. Things that you get, go engineering, you get something highly or design a phone, for example. Phone ela tlamele e sebetse ke kenya, if ke deleting in my sebetsa by ha ke kenya airtime, ke khona go etsa di outgoing calls, highlight ile charge tsa phone ka khona receive calls. That is how this device is supposed to work. So even the system itself, it's not broken, it's working how it's supposed to. Religion is part of the tools of the system and keeping the gods in lower vibrating states, because we know there's certain spaces, politics, certain low vibrational spaces. As much as religion, you think religion and morality, but it's one of the tools that vibrate quite low. But we're not getting into that debate for today. But yes, Kanya land, guys, ribuile ka season cap, how important our spiritual land is, and you see with different teachers, on the platforms, your regulars, Bontatemaponga, Bo Dr. Kanyisile Litchfield Shabalala, Dr. Shobi. You see, they speak a lot about land and how important land is, and I speak also how Limalawarona is the land as well, and I think in every episode that we probably do, and every live episode that we do, it's gonna filter back to land again, right? So it's not just a place for us to do our rituals, not a place for us to walk on, build our homes, build the chalo and whatnot, because it's so unfortunate right now. Most people have a like they still don't know what to do with it, right? But if you're seeing also the structure how Lokshin is built and how what we perceive as what is civilized? I forgot the Zulu word. This is happy news though, because yeah, my Sesotho was not here, my Spady was not here. But we want like the whole concrete and everything, which prevents us from grounding, where we have to go out of the city and say, oh my gosh, I'm hiking. Or not even out the city. Well, if you're in Joburg, not even out the city, but we have to make it an activity to do natural things, or things that we're supposed to be doing, like grounding, things of reach alele tamati, like reach walele dijo, we also are displaced from our burial land, because how burying happens in today's times. Yeah, it's a bit of part 3. Yeah, sorry. Okay, part 3. I promise this is the final one. It's just gonna be just under 30 minutes or slightly over. Or it won't be over because Kapiamo get 10 minutes. And yeah, I think maybe ke le khopotse so much, and that's why ke bua thata so. But yeah, I do after breaking out of my shell, I think ke bua thata. But anyway, yeah, so the significance of land, how we also didn't bury people kobo Avalon, and I know Avalon system right now, so if you are privileged and lucky enough, at least you'll have your family, but yeah, even the way we're bearing is so questionable. But anyway, I don't know other townships, or what is your Avalon or your Pitri, but those places, like I just feel otherwise I'm gonna be buried among strangers. So that is why I'm saying it again. If you check my old videos as well, I'm saying it again. I want to be buried with my people in my ancestors' land. Now I don't want to be buried in this very noisy place here, Gauteng. No thank you. But anyway, yeah, so land is significant for a lot of things. There's herbs that we get from the land as well. There's minerals now. Now, always speaking of minerals, right? And speaking of the media will show you things that it needs to show you. The system works how it's supposed to work, right? But in totaling behind the scenes, they won't show them. So, KwaZulu Natal, I know what is happening. There's lithium that was discovered, right? So, unfortunately, AbaNtu more. And if you are a reality TV person, this place you come Mzumbe, Mzumbe ke more that ntate olwale polygamist a tswang ko teng or a dulang ko teng. And but if you're like me and you like KZN, yeah, that's all steez. And I said I found somebody also who doesn't like Cape Town or the Western Cape, like myself. I love KZN. It's such a it's not, Cape Town is cold. Cape Town is such a cold place, not weather-wise, but even weather-wise, weather, but KZN is so warm. It's such a warm place, whether you're South Coast, North Coast, Central, it's so warm. Like, even when the gents are greeting you, they're not greeting you for shelling, but it's literally, yeah, sawona season. It's not shelling. But anyway, I digress again. I'm trying to make this under 10 minutes. But there's a place in KZN called Umzumbe, and mine lithium right now, right? So I want you guys to go through this article with me. So they're mining lithium, but they also want to displace people. So history keeps on repeating itself. That's why when I opened, what is our plan as Black people? What is our plan? Like, are we always gonna let history repeat itself over and over and over and over again until I don't know what happens? But this is how it's happened. And yeah, like, I'm not for okay, the king was given a Rolls Royce and given this, given that, because it just shows King Onankaro disconnected to the elements. We're supposed to look for cosmic things from the kings, and unfortunately the kings are they don't even have connection to the cosmos. So I'm not for oh my gosh, they built TUT, like most things that were built then was in perpetuation of Zona di Bantu stance then, and in turn people were displaced there. But I want you guys to read this thing with me, right? So the residents are Mzumbe at this place called KwaZulu Natal. They're protesting against this mining lithium, right? So what is happening in Congo right now? What is happening in Mozambique right now? If you go to Mozambique right now, it's always us. They're gonna use us against us. Hunale Masole, who are walking with guns broad daylight in jail, because we need to protect the interests. It's the people that divided Africa, that whole gang scramble for Africa. We need to provide their interests, and unfortunately here, SA, Africa as a black woman is still getting a great day in, day out, Congo, reza 2 minutes, ra boycott 2 minutes, then we back there, we see influencer eating in a iPhone 16, not thinking, oh my gosh, cobalt, coltan, so lithium again is also another device that we use in batteries. So I'm in the industry of working with electronics. I studied also such things. So I know lithium is very, very important mineral in terms of electronics, right? So these things that keep on disconnecting us from who we are again, these things that are pushing consumerism, like I'm saying, the influencer would have, get to iPhone 16 and all of that, and we go out to buy it, not thinking, oh my gosh, women and children were raped because of many of these things. Little black boys have to be trained and just and hold guns and analyze people, be into the culture of raping people, the big msam or the main msam or that universal, that God mind, because now we are serving in the interests West, right? But I wanted to find that article. I keep one article man. I keep on but about the benefits, how it's benefiting people, but they want to take their land. Let me say KwaZulu Natal. They want to displace these people, but my movie, what happened also go Alexandra back in the day, right? Boy Alexandra. So this mine is called Highberry Mine, right? So it's operated go KwaZulu Natal and it's near Umzumbe, and obviously ba Grepa Africa, which is the black woman. Hanza ba mo Grepa sona. Bantse ba bantwena, ba reking. Yeah, they say no, they're creating jobs. Okay, I can't find that article, but I'll just talk here from my own perspective. But obviously people that are linked again to whom also right, or ning, because your favorite conspiracy theorist also has her own opinions on Lisbeth, but they stating how they're gonna create, it's gonna be job creation, but even in everyday life, in regular jobs, how share about the disparities, right? Like I say, I always say, everybody but us, is fair to this whole rainbow nation. Everybody's a race game except for us, and now we're told to, we are one and all of that. And I'm not calling no, Aribengdi racist, we just so this is just us to recognize rona but why of humanity, so I'm not pushing any agendas and all of that, and I'm not saying we shouldn't be united and all the good and all of that, right? But it seems like who are asked to continuously be Rainbow Nation, remember Mandela, this, Mandela that, Mandela that, but everybody else is looking out for their own, right? And yeah, it is unfortunate. That's why Kibuzita happy, I repeat happy hore. Planero ke eng, but there's a petition apparently na liboma 300 signatures, but this should be something great. But do these things also help? So okay, Kopaling to saying the advocates, people who are advocates, people who are activists, people who are people who know, like, what is the plan, not like I'm just saying, let's go on the spiritual fortification and fight it in that way, but it's not gonna be just KZN, because there's different areas, but Richards Bay, there's a lot that's been happening. Kompumalanga, if you go to Nzaloyalang, you can see man Mona Nona limits, as much as we're seeing like the bottom down there, but non-indigenous plants planted there or trees planted there, Bosa producing this paper that we're using every day, like the inventions of they are always in conflict with nature, so this is something that is happening in KwaZulu. So please be alert, please so I'm doing this for the people who are not on the Chinese app, and I'm also doing this for the people who are off mainstream media, right? Away, as much as all these chaos is happening, these dwellings, kingpins and all of that, but there's behind the scenes people are getting displaced again. KZN, people are, the mines are being set up. What happened to Mpumalanga, Nzaloyalang, where nature and people are displaced, and Khoduti Makwa there, what is Lady Ferizarona, as if you've been to Mpumalanga and you've had the privilege of seeing all these things that people think are fairy tales, fairies. But such things. So this thing is happening over and over and over. So Habaritwe, re supporta KZN ke kopa re supporteng KZN. Oh, the other issue I forgot to ngicocela in 1 minute. There's that lady also o analyzile ngwana, like silawulo imimoya ne o analyzile ngwana, and then she made it seem like this child was kidnapped, but ke brown people ne, but go flare off. So all these things, yes, they're important. We're not saying hore the media cannot do reporting, but always think hore behind the scenes, and do not be gaslit into thinking or yo baqalile bo hoka yeah vele siyahlanya mara sihlanya kahle sihlanya kamnandi, you know. And like I said in the past, hore insanity basically translates to within sanity ke rona re leng hara ha sanity. So that was my 3 times 10 minutes ne hore about away, and also see how my art is also in play here. But this issue apparently has been happening since 2024. So how about a sign over Natal, or sign up? It's something simple like petition. Please be on board. Marcos.